On this episode of Ask Dan, we're going to talk about 3x3 wireless antennas, the future of Cortana, and what's happening with that Alexa partnership in Microsoft. Stay tuned. Are there any 3x3 wireless cards for the Dell XPS 15 to act as a replacement? Okay, so I know what you're thinking here. I don't have a Dell XPS 15. Why would I be interested in this question? And it's just kind of interesting because I want to talk about 3x3 Wi-Fi cards. So if you don't know what this means, it has to do with antennas. Most devices today are 2x2, although some devices only have one. And what that refers to is the number of antennas in the device. Obviously, in general, more is better, and 2 Wi-Fi antennas are very good, and it's what you see in a lot of the premium high-end Ultrabooks today. So the question is, if 2 is good, why is 3 not better, and can you find any 3x3 cards on the market? Now, there's some interesting history here. I spoke with Killer, who makes the Wi-Fi cards for a lot of gaming laptops, about this topic, and they told me that the 3x3 cards, the rate of return for their value is not quite as good as 2x2. That is, yes, you do see a signal improvement, but it's very slight compared to, say, going from 1 antenna to 2, where you see a dramatic increase in the performance. Now, if you notice, a lot of laptops these days use metal in them, which is why sometimes you see a little cutout for the Wi-Fi section. You can see this on the Surface Pro, which has sort of a grayed out area, and companies work very hard to minimize these Wi-Fi lines where the antennas are. If you add in 3 antennas, it becomes more complicated because now you got to run those antennas along the lines with the web camera, and it's just an engineering issue. So the short answer is I do not expect any more 3x3 Wi-Fi cards on the market. Most companies are going to go 2x2, and I think it's going to be fine for most users. So just continue down that road. If you do find a 3x3 for the XPS 15, it probably will be an older card and not anything new coming from Intel or Killer. Is Cortana dying and Alexa going to rule the world? Okay, so this is a very complicated topic. In fact, it's so complicated, I'm going to do a whole separate video on it. The short answer is no, Cortana is not going away. Now, I know there's been a lot of press out there, especially at CES, where Alexa and specifically Google made a ton of announcements having their services integrated into a bunch of new products. And Cortana was notably absent. Now, there were some announcements, and I'll talk about this in the other video, but actually Microsoft has a lot of plans for Cortana. I know this is hard to believe, but they do have a plan for it, and I'll talk about this in the other video. But the short answer here is that they're going to put Cortana into the OS. Now, I know what you're saying. It already has Cortana in Windows 10. What I mean is they're going to weave AI throughout the entire operating system at the shell level. That is the plan for RS5 and RS6. And so you're going to have AI and the OS combined into one. And that's sort of a smart decision, I think. But they do have a lot of plans for Cortana. It is not going to be canceled. I'll do more of this in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Is the Cortana-Alexa partnership still happening? Okay, so in late 2017, Microsoft and Amazon announced that they're going to combine Alexa or Cortana, or rather those two services would work together. And it's a pretty cool idea, although it is a bit clumsy in some ways. After all, asking Cortana to fetch Alexa to then order something from Amazon is going to be a mouthful. There will be ways around this as natural language processing evolves, but that's sort of the goal for right now. Now, it was supposed to come out around the end of 2017, and of course, that did not happen. But yes, it is still in planning. The last we heard is Amazon and Microsoft plan to roll this out sometime in Q1 of 2018. Now, there is a complication here with that many PC manufacturers have also announced that they're going to integrate Alexa into Windows 10 on their laptops. That's a separate issue. Again, I'll talk about this in the other video regarding the future of Cortana. But yes, look forward to Cortana and Alexa, no matter how clumsy it is, coming in the next few months. So that does it for this episode of Ask Dan. Remember, if you have a question, use hashtag AskDanWindows on Twitter, or go to our forums at Windows Central and ask me a question there. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Is Cortana dying and Alexa going to rule the world? Shit, now I'm thinking, pause for a sec. This is kind of, I'm just going to give a brief answer here because we're going to do a whole separate video basically on this topic, but I'm just going to reference, I'm going to do a separate video talking about this.